Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PSGL Season 26, F6 Round 10 at China. I am your commentator, Ion Lane, or as Draft Puzzle people do know me as. I will be commentating over F6 today. If I did say F10, I'm completely wrong, it is F6. As we now watch Teres, who will be the first one to begin a qualifying lap in this cloudy China at the moment. As we only have 14 today, not really the best turnout for the guys. The championship's almost over, but still places to fight for. However, we go on board with Teres then, who begins his flying lap. As he's coming into turn 1, goes to 5th gear there. Goes a bit on the grass there, which is going to cost him possibly a couple of tenths, but remember this could be a banker run for him. Stays in 2nd, goes to 1st to get the extra turn, his short assist to 3rd, gets a decent exit. Up to 4th now, power down. As he's now going to hit sector 1, and his first sector is a 23.9. A bit of a lock up there into the hairpin in 2nd gear. Would have gone 1st to get a more turn and a better exit. As he's now coming through the fast left-hander. As he's actually backed off the lap, so he's actually not happy with that, and his lap will be game over for him. As it isn't Felix, it's actually Monster Blue. Championship points leader at the moment, looking very strong to take the championship. Teresa needs some good performances if he wants to try and win the title, because it looks like Mercedes are going to win the constructors at the moment, since Alfa Romeo haven't had really the best team finishing results. However, once with them, it's sector 2, 50.2 there, at purple right now, so he's looking good on his lap. He gets a decent exit down the long straight, and traction is key on around China, especially on that banking with DRS, and he's going to be hitting probably around about the speeds of 206, 207 miles an hour. Coming into the braking zones, 206 there, into the hairpin, stays in 2nd gear there, gets an okay exit, no rear wheel spin. As he's now coming to the left, and Terrace, that actually did count in the end, he did a 38.7 even when backed off, but Muscler's going to destroy that, and there's a 29.1. So we're already in the 29s, and that's good pace there for Monster Blue. What about his teammate though? His teammate is on a lap. There's Bryn, or used to be called PB Racing, does a 34.2 on mediums. Ron Zeus does a 29.6 on soft tyres. As the next guys coming up are the Red Bulls, but I believe both of them are on out laps. As right now then, here comes Felix now. Round the final corner, he's missed the past 2 rounds, so he's definitely out of the championship. Oh, and he invalidates on the final corner, and it's a 30 flat, so it won't even be 2nd, it would be 3rd there, and he will be disappointed with that. And I'm guessing he's had no practice. I believe he's been actually at the real life Grand Prix at Nürburgring today, so I don't think Felix had any practice at all. So we'll go on board with Dylan then, the lead Red Bull, who's backed off his lap, and then we'll go on board with Hardy. Just make sure Terrace isn't on a lap. Terrace is on a lap, interesting. We'll keep an eye on Terrace and Hardy. See how both drivers do, and let's see if Terrace can get close to Monster Blue today. As he gets an average exit there, but I think he'll pit. No, he's finishing it, gets an alright exit. Oh, bit of, actually not the best exit at all, and does a 30 flap, so he's averaging Felix's pace. Hardy's bottled, so that's Hardy's lap over. What about Dylan? I'm positive Dylan. No, it was Dylan who hasn't actually validated his lap. It's not Hardy. It's Dylan. Dylan's 6th currently with no time set, so he's looking for a good result. Going into the hairpin, but he's actually backed off, so his lap won't count. What about Ron Zeus? He's pitting. Finley's 3rd with a 29.8. Anybody else actually on a lap? Schnitzel is actually on a flying lap in the AlphaTauri right now, with the racing point, I believe, of Lost Souls, who's right behind him. Or it's Morgan actually. I think it is Morgan. We'll make sure. Schnitzel then going to the final corner. Gets an okay exit, keeps it within track limits, and he does a 1:32.4. So I'm guessing that is definitely a banker then for him. As Morgan now, as Lost Souls begins his, actually no, he's pit, so Lost Souls didn't want to begin his final lap. As here comes Morgan then, around the final corner, stays in 5th, gets an average exit, and does a 1:13.9. A 2nd, well actually more than a 2nd, but 2nd still is from 3rd, But he's on a harder compound tyre. Mediums to stock, I believe, around here is 1.3 difference. I could be wrong. It usually is 6/10, but this track is very different on tyre strategies, to be honest. As right now, then we'll go on board with Hardy, then, who's now begun his flying up, and he's messed up the final corner, not final corner, of the banking there, and that's his lap ruined. He'll be disappointed on that lap. Sneaky's on a out lap. There's a Williams, that's Tibson. PB's pitting. We'll go on board with Tibson then, who's beginning his flying lap now in the Williams. Currently in 9th at the moment. Let's see what he can do as a Red Bull there. Goes into the pit lane. Sneaky. And Tibson will be doing their flying laps now. We'll have a look at the stands right now. Tibson's currently 9th. He's actually got ahead of Lewis Marshall from last week. He has now 25 points to his name. And Tibson's had a very average season. He's had a very high score points. He's scored points almost every race. Just the points he hasn't was Britain, where he didn't start. And Zandvoort, unfortunately, he didn't score any points. But other than that, he's been scoring decent points for the Williams team. And unfortunately, his team actually can't make it today. Which is Panos, which is a shame. And Sneaky's been doing well in the championship as well. He's 6th with 38 points. The first 4 rounds he scored points. Then he had 2 DNFs and then 2 DNSs. Unfortunately, he couldn't make Italy or Hanoi. And then he gets a 3rd place in Japan. So he's looking for another good result. But as I said about Williams, Tibson in 9th, about to finish his flying lap. Williams are currently 8th in the championship, and that's good enough for them. And here comes Tibson then. Oh, that's off, and he's invalidated, but he would have done a 30.2. That would have put him into 5th place there. That's his lap over, as we're going board with Sneaky then, who's about to finish his flying lap on medium tyres. It's going to be a high lap. I think it's going to probably be a 32. It is a 32.8. Goes 8th quickest on medium tyres. And that's what the gap is at the moment on the mediums, so you're going to have to get a bit better on them. As everybody else on out laps, who's the closest one to actually start a lap? It's actually the AlphaTauri of Khalifi, I believe. No, it's not, it's Schnitzel. Schnitzel's done 3 laps on softs, and there's another 131.1, so I think they're just a used set just to get bankers in, as he's now slowing down. So the first one actually is Felix then. So we're on board with Felix then, who's beginning his 2nd flying lap. Currently in 11th, his first flying lap didn't go to plan, as he's going through turn 1 into 2, now into 3. It's a decent exit, it looks like. Nice and tight there with the number 32 on the Merc. As he's now coming into the hairpin. Purple in sector 1, so Felix picked up the pace where he could challenge on pole. Could we see a low 29 for him? Let's see how he does in sector 2 now. As he's going through the fast left-hander. My favourite part of the circuit is these 2 corners, because it's nice and flowing. Unfortunately, I just don't like this track in general. Have it up, Felix. He's keeping it nice and tidy on his flying lap there. No running too wide or taking weird lines or anything, as he's now getting on an Alfa Romeo, who's on an out lap, I believe, and I believe that is Finley. As Felix then is now going on the banking, has to get good traction here because you can lose a lot of time. Gets a good exit. Remember, slipstream isn't allowed in PSGL, so he can't give the teammates some slipstream, which is a shame, but it's also the rules, so you have to accept it. As now we're going to there, but a bit of a lock up on that right front there. It looks dodgy for a couple of people missing their braking points possibly. Will Felix invalidate this time? He cuts it a little bit, but he keeps it within track limits. What time will it be? And it's going to be a 29.5. Goes 2nd quickest. 4/10 off his teammate, roughly 4 to 3/10. So Felix there is basically the Bottas of the team right now, and he will be disappointed with that lap. As now we'll go on board with Ron Zeus, who has invalidated his flying lap and peels into the pits. What about Teresa? Teresa then is coming now to the final corner. Has he got anything to match Monster Blue? Has he got anything to challenge for the Drivers' Championship? He does a 29.7, goes 4th quickest, and it was an improvement but not good enough to challenge Monster Blue. Still a lot of time to gain if he wants to challenge him. As the next driver was actually Monster Blue, who's done a 28.7. Wow, we're in the 28s. That is a very good lap there for Monster Blue. He keeps picking up the pace. As now Bryn in the McLaren, currently in 9th. No, well, an average lap, 31.2 I believe on medium tyres. He's now coming to lap and he does a 29.9 on soft, 1.3 seconds improvement. So I was right with the soft and mediums. It's 1.3 seconds advantage. As now we will go on board with Finley, who is on a flying lap. Currently almost 3/10 up on his lap. And he's actually invalidated actually somewhere. So that's a shame there for Finley. So his lap will not count. As we'll go on board with Tipson then. Currently in 12th place. No lap time set, as earlier on he did invalidate. Let's see what he will do today. He's on his out lap in the Williams. As Khalifi in 13th. Hopefully he can get a good result because he was leading the championship at the start of the season. He had a very good start. He's third in the championship right now with 55 points with a 33 point gap to the championship point leader. After this race there's 4 rounds left, so there's still plenty of time to challenge. So Khalifi 55 points. The first 3 rounds he was on the podium, and then Spain just went for him as he didn't score any points, and then Belgium he DNF'd. Zandvoort he didn't race, and then Italy he DNF'd, and then he's had average points with Hanoi and Japan. So hopefully he can get into high scoring point ways and challenge Monster Blues to the end of the season as Tipson begins his flying lap. As we'll go on a 2-point view then through turn 1, goes down the gears, goes to second there to get turn in. I would have gone to first just a little bit and then short shift to third. Doesn't go first at all through the first couple of corners. However, gets a decent exit. Let's see what his first sector time will be. And it's going to be a 23.9, not purple, so he won't be challenging for pole yet. As he's going into the hairpin, gets a decent exit, no lockups at all. As now he's going through the fast left-hander. As he's in sector 2, getting really close to that curb. Don't go over the curb because you will possibly spin it if you haven't got the right setup. However, Tipson's really pushing the Williams today. It looks like, oh, and he's gone off. Somehow doesn't invalidate. As he's now finishing sector 2 and he's purple. So sector 3 then is next. As he's just got a couple of corners and a big long straight. So he needs just good traction out of the banking. And it looks like he's had a good one. In 7th gear already, goes to 8th. Oh, and he's messed up, he's weaving, so I don't think this lap will count. I don't think he's going to count it, he ain't happy with it. There's 3 minutes 28 seconds remaining. Will he pit? Is there enough time for him to pit, or will he do another run? We'll keep an eye on him, and we'll keep an eye on other drivers who aren't on flying laps yet, but the lead driver, I believe, is Hardy. And yep, Tipson's in the pits. It isn't Hardy, it's actually Dylan, currently in 11th, who's been in the Red Bull all season. The only main driver actually to stay with Red Bulls. Red Bulls had a few driver changes. Same with Racing Point, of course. Racing Point last week got Morgan as a driver and scored points for them, and now they have Lost Souls to their team now. So Racing Point have gone through a lot of drivers this year, and it's kind of affected them in the constructors. They're currently 7th with only 29 points to their name, and they're fighting with Williams for 7th place, and then Red Bull are fighting for 4th with McLaren and Ferrari. As Dylan now begins his flying lap, and also Ferrari aren't here today, so Red Bull and McLaren can actually pull away, and actually Red Bull will overtake and McLaren can pull away. As Dylan then, nice and tidy there through turn 1, gets a nice wide line to take tight into turn 2 and 3, gets an average exit there in 4th gear. I would have gone a bit third, a bit longer then, should go to 4th, probably would have been more time gained to be honest, as he's now into the hairpin, goes to 2nd, short shift to 3rd, gets an average exit. No wheel spin or anything though, which is good. He's now, as I said, through the fast left-hander now. Nice and tidy. Touches the curb a little bit, which you can do. You can tap it a little bit, but just don't literally try and go over it because you'll go. And there's a lot of people coming out of the pits right now. Both Alfa Romeos, both Alfa Toys, and both Mercedes. All out of the pit lane. Let's see what his second sector is. It's a 50.9, not purple or green. So he may be down on his lap time at the moment, but he hasn't set a lap. So I'm guessing it's his invalid lap time he's down on. So let's see what the long straight is. As the Haas there of Ronzus lets the Red Bull through, and it's a shame that James can't make it today, since he has been scoring points for the Haas team. They're currently 9th with 26 points, who also are fighting Racing Point in the championship. And then there's just Renault in 10th with only 14 points, who look like they're going to have a decent result with Thowley last weekend. As here comes Dylan now to the line. The ERS is completely drained, and he does 7th with a 130.446. He will be happy with that on medium tyres, and he's, I think, the highest medium runner. Yes, he is. He is the highest medium runner, so he will be happy with that. As now we will go on board next, the other Red Bull of Hardy, who's actually invalidated. He did a 30.8. He would have been just behind his teammates. So the Red Bull drivers are setting similar lap times. Lost Souls now coming to the line. He does a 130.1, goes 7th, beat Dylan's time, so drops Dylan further down, but he's only 3/10 quicker than Dylan on a faster compounded tyre. As next we have, I believe it's Khalifi, who's just done his flying lap and has done a 32.991 on the medium compounded tyres, currently in 12th. Is anyone actually on a flying lap right now? Brain in 6th, on a flying lap right now, just ahead of Khalifi, who's only in 12th. So Khalifi, yet again, struggling for pace on the medium tyres. As it's been an average exit there. We're getting a nice camera shot now of the McLaren. He has got a racing point ahead, so he has going to have to watch out for that. I will say one thing though, the Constructors is very interesting, especially with Autori now 3rd with 84 points. I think Autori will be 3rd in the championship unless they start getting good results, as PB or Bryn has invalidated his lap, so that is a shame. As you say, Finley and Terra 4th and 5th, they are both on flying laps as quali has ended now. So Ron Zeus just does a flying lap, goes 2nd quickest with a 28.9. Was Schnitzel just behind? No, it wasn't. It's actually the Mercedes who are next. Who's the lead Mercedes? It isn't Montsplit, it's Felix. Felix right now is on a flyer, going to finish his flying lap. The rest point peels into the pits. The McLaren is finishing his lap, but unfortunately it's invalid. As Hardy isn't going to set lap time then, it looks like, as he goes into the pit lane. And Lost Souls retires in the pit lane, which is good. Don't retire on track. But what about Felix? Has he made a mistake? Has he bottled? Somehow he doesn't invalidate. Where will he go? He improves a little bit, doesn't get 2nd. What about his teammate? His teammate improves a 28.7. What about Finley? Teresa only improved to 4th. Finley stays 5th. Wow, look how close the Alfa Romeo boys are. 4th and 5th. Very close to each other. Next up is Morgan, and he pits. And Schnitzel goes 10th with 31 flat there. So Schnitzel, unfortunately, couldn't be knocked out of the top 10, but he will be starting mediums. And Dylan also means, so Dylan is a guy to watch out for in today's race, as there's a lot of people on soft compounded tyres. And that is quali over then, and we will go down the official results when it actually shows me the official results. There we go, we have them now. So, Monster Blue then takes 1st place yet again. I think this is his 3rd in a row. Now he's taken pole, with Ron Zeus in 2nd. It's good to see the Haas team doing well here, as they had a disappointing result in Japan. Felix in 3rd, Teresa is in 4th, Finley in 5th. So the Alfa Romeo boys will be waiting in the rings for the Mercedes to possibly have a crash or make a mistake. Bryn 6th, Lost Souls 7th, Dylan 8th, Morgan in 9th, Schnitzel 10th, Khalifi in 11th, Sneaky 12th, Tipson 13th, Excel Hardy in 14th, and these two didn't set a lap time but will be on fresh tyres, and they could go hard to medium, and that could be the better strategy. As we now have 4 seconds until we go to the race and to the formation lap. That's right, Finley, V8 or so V8. You're right, Finley and Terra are 4th and 5th. And we have clear skies, which is great to see. Hey Tom, how you doing? It's good to see you. Well then, we will get ready for the race then, as people make their setups, make little tweaks to their front wing possibly, and fuel loads or race strategies. And it's going to be very interesting if people stay on softs who didn't make it in the top 10, but it could also be interesting if anyone picks the hard tyre, because I think the hard tyre will be the better option, but the 2-stop could also be viable. So, and there isn't all in full grid, so that's also, you've got to take that into account, as we now have 7 seconds till we begin the formation lap. Well then, the formation lap has begun then, and we'll get all the telemetry, all the information you need. Well then, Monster Blue, as I said, is in first then, Ronzu second, Felix third, Terrace in fourth, Finley in fifth, Bryn sixth, Lost Souls in seventh. I believe it is his debut race today, since he hasn't scored points at all this season, and will be in seventh, so a good showing for Racing Point. Dylan in eighth, great showing on the medium tyres, highest medium runner. Morgan ninth, Snitzel in 10th. Khalifi has gone on hards. He is the only driver who's gone on the hard tyres. Now, this guy is you're gonna have to watch out for, because he could easily be up there to win the race, because he could do hard to soft. Hards can go a bit longer than the soft tyres can, and I'm guessing the soft's roughly going to go 5 laps. So, interesting strategy from him. Sneaky then. Disappointing qualifying result. That's not like him. Usually, he's up there and he's the highest McLaren. And today, it's disappointing for him, and especially since Red Bull are not that far off them. Tipson, 13th then. On medium tyres, he stays on the medium compound, and Hardy has spun it on the formation lap and reset the track. Hopefully he doesn't do that in the race, because that will lead to a penalty, even if I believe you don't affect anyone. So Hardy then in 14th, spin on the formation lap. That will have warmed up your tyres, but it also put a lot of wear on them. However, back to the race leader, the championship points leader, and my favourite to win the championship at the moment. And his predicted pit stop strategy is soft to hard. So he is definitely doing the one stop then, it looks like. So it'll be interesting what he can do. As you can see the weaving beginning down the grid. As you can see there, Williams of Tipson getting really excited, ready for the race. As we're going for the next couple of corners. So we get green flag racing, and we can see a massive crash in turn 1. But also some amazing racing. My prediction is for the top 4 today, Monster Blue taking first, Ronzu second, Felix I think will finish third, but I think Finley is going to be the better Alpha Male today in 4th place. As now the Mercs are lining up on the track. As we've got an awesome camera angle, hopefully it doesn't change, because this is a good camera angle we've got. And there we go then. Everyone has lined up on the grid. The light sequence should begin. I pray it's not a glitch. No, it's not. That's good. Well then, we now go to 4 to 5 red lights at China, and away we go then. A lot of wheel spin for the back. Neither Mercedes are wheel spin, and it looks like Muscles had a good start then. Is that Terrace? It is Terrace, already into 3rd place. Shows Felix who is boss there. Felix is just been hung out to dry, and Felix is off. Felix is off. He is off into the gravel, into the grass, sorry, not gravel. Oh, and he comes on dangerously there into the McLaren. You gotta watch out there. Sneaky is there. You don't want to cause a massive crash. There's both racing points now fighting side by side. Is this going to be a Perez and Esteban Ocon moment? As Terrace then is holding his own in 3rd. Bryn's had a great start into 4th place. As Dylan is now fighting with the Racing Point, and no chaos. Snitzel. Oh, we're going 4 wide here right now between the AlphaTauris, Red Bull, and Mercedes. And Felix is off again, and he's trying to keep the car under control. Is his championship failing? Is his championship going into dust as Stanos done the click? As his championship hopes gone for Felix. Currently in 14th right now. Monster Blue's had a great start. Already got a 2nd lead over on Zeus. Right now, though, Teresa is doing what he needs to do. He's trying to keep his championship hopes alive. Currently in 3rd place. And he's gaining. But there's more fights further down the grid. Hardy and Tipson fighting side by side. These guys didn't set a lap time. And they've already made their way up to 10th and 11th for points position. But right now, Tipson on the outside. This could get interesting then and spicy. There is 3 cars. A Honda, Mercedes, and another Honda engine power. All fighting out for the same position for 10th right now. Who's going to get, as you can see, the rest point there getting aggressive. But here comes Schnitzel. Oh, Tipson made a late lunge to defend and tries it on Hardy. Hardy holds the position. Tipson goes back to 11th. Hardy doesn't get the good exit there, what he needed. But looks like Hardy is alright for now, as Monster Blue sets the current fastest lap, 35.3. Hang on a minute. Oh, no. I legit thought Terrace just bottled, but he hasn't. It's actually just the glitch of everything just messing up. So as soon as it's fixed, I will go back down the grid order. Alright, now though, Monster Blue is having a blast in the lead right now. And it's got a big gap, I believe, of roughly a second. As Monster Blue now is in 10th, apparently. Which is clearly wrong. As no action further down the grid. And Felix has got a lot of work to do. Has he got any wing damage? No, and he's very lucky. Those softs are going to be overheating soon. He's now going to have to try the one-stop strategy if he wants to try and get some decent points in today's race. As we go on board with Mr. Bryn right now, who's currently in the break by Finley, and Dylan behind. As we have blue flags for some reason, I don't know why. It's great to see that nobody is retired and we've still got 14 runners on lap number 2. In lap 3 yet because the DRS isn't activated. No, it does say it. As right now we see a move further down the grid. It's between Hardy and Khalifi. He's got the move. Khalifi's trying to come back at him, but Hardy is up there, and we could see Hardy actually challenge his teammates. Must sets a new fast start, 34.1, and no one has even matched that yet. As now the DRS will be enabled this lap then, as we now go back on board with Finley, who's looking hungry on Bryn. Is on the quicker tyre. Actually, no, they're both on the same tyre. I thought Bryn was on mediums. My apologies there. Bryn is on softs, so Britain's struggling already on exit, and it looks like he's having tyre wear issues already. Oh, but so is Finley there. You can just see the rear end starting to snap out. So soon the pit stops will be coming into play for the soft runners, and this could help Dylan out. Dylan's just waiting in the wings. As you can see, there's a lot of action further behind between Khalifi and Tibson, I believe, and Schnitzel. So we will keep an eye on that as well, as Finley is trying his best as he locks up there. And Dylan's just waiting, just buying his time. He doesn't need to make an aggressive move yet. He's on the better tyre strategy. He can go medium to hard, he can go medium, medium soft, or he can go medium soft, soft if he wanted to. It's up to him. But I think he may try the one stop just to be safe and try and get track position. But right now, Finley will go on board with is looking hungry. Is Bryn just in DRS range? I don't think he is. We'll go on board actually with Bryn, rear camera shots, and here comes Finley now. DRS activated, he's gaining. Look at that straight line speed there from Finley. Gets the move alongside, he's got it, but is McLaren going to break Finley? He's trying to go back in his racing line. Tries to let Finley know that Bryn's not going to make it. And Finley there moves into 4th. Bryn down back to 5th, but Bryn may have the next bite of the cherry. Finley isn't going to get DRS. Bryn is. Bryn's gaining now. Bryn is gaining. Is he going to go through turn 1? Is he going to ascend it? It's going to be tight. No, he doesn't. He buys his time. He's going to have to wait another lap. Nobody else makes moves at the moment. Oh, actually, do I see a move further behind? No. Felix was gaining though, and he looks a lot quicker, but Sneaky's just made a mistake. Felix is going to send it probably. He's going around the outside turn 3. Bit of a lock-up to try and switch. Doesn't go to third gear quick enough. Trying to get too many words out of my mouth, and he can't get the traction there, and that is a shame there for Felix right now, because he's really losing time, and a lot of time from the front runners, as right now the top 2 are doing an amazing job. Already pulled a 2.2 second gap to Tower Racer. This is great to see for Ron Zeus and Monster Blue, especially Monster Blue, for the championship's sake. Right now though, there is action all over the place now. Dylan is now looking hungry on Bryn, so Bryn's tyres are completely destroyed. Hang on a minute, there's yellows. It's Lost Souls. Lost Souls is out. I don't see him. He's gone off. And it's a safety car. Felix has been saved. The soft runners are saved. They are all going to pit. They're going to go either do the 2-stop now, or they're going to try the hard strategy. This is interesting. Will the Mercedes double stack, and will the Alfa Romeos double stack? Dylan right now is safe. He could go hard if he wanted to, but I don't think he wants to do that. I think he wants to stay on the mediums and then go hard. And for some reason when I said Dylan, it thought I said Siri on my phone, so that's just great. Alright then, so Monster Blue in the pits, and it makes his pit stop then. Anybody else following him? Yep, everyone is in. Bryn then, and Finley's trying to slow the pack down, so he gets a bit of a gap. And Dylan, Morgan stay out, all the medium runners stay out. Ooh, lock-ups everywhere here. Schnitzel's in, everyone's in, even a few of the medium runners actually. So Schnitzel and Sneaky on medium tyres, and the McLarens are double stacking, same with the Mercedes crew. But look at that slick pit stop. Felix isn't really losing that much time. Sneaky is, and Felix is already out at the pit lane, and he's jumped Sneaky then. Sneaky then got held up a lot, and Felix is leaving the pit lane ahead of Sneaky into 12th place. And now we'll go on board with our race leader, and that is Dylan in the Red Bull on the medium compound of tyre. Both Red Bulls now are first and third. So this is great for the Red Bulls and the Racing Point, and actually Khalifi as well. He's in fourth on hard tyres, so now he definitely can do the hard and soft strategy and be in a chance to win this race. As a lot of people have gone on hard, Snitz was gone on a fresh set of medium, so I'm guessing he had wing damage or something. Because that's interesting that he's gone on a fresh set of mediums. I would have gone hards, to be honest. As it's unfortunate yet again, lost souls, DNF'd, and unfortunately he won't be added to this until he scores points. So that is a shame for him, as hopefully nobody rear ends anybody in today's race. Dylan then is getting ready. Will the safety car come in this lap? Everyone's caught up. I think it'll stay. I think it'll do another lap, to be honest. I think the earliest it'll do is this lap, but it hasn't gone for the call yet. Everyone has caught up, so if I was safety car, I'd just let everyone start racing again. But it looks like it's not. Don't get too close. I'll tell you that, Dylan. Do not get too close, because you don't want to cause a crash with the safety car and cause a massive pile-up. You touch that safety car, even with just a slight touch, your wing is going. Well then, while we wait for the safety car to do another lap around the grid, we'll look at the position changes. And the position changes at the moment are, and also we'll look on the fast stat. Position change them, as Dylan and Morgan have gained the same amount of positions, 7. Axel Hardy's gained 11. Khalifi's also gained 7 in 4th, and Tipson in 5th has gained 8. Now here come the red, the guys who've lost position. Monster Blue with his pit stops lost 5, Terrace lost 3, Ronzeus has lost 6 then, so Terrace actually jumped Ronzeus somehow. Bryn in 9th has also lost 3 positions. Finley has also lost 5 positions under this pit stop. Sniff's only lost 1, so it isn't really a big loss to him. Felix has lost 9 after the shambles start he had. And Sneaky has lost only 1 position, and Lost Souls lost 7 with his retirement. Now, Ronzeus got held up in the pits, I think. And that's why he's behind Terracer, because I think the Alfa Romeo garage blocked him a little bit or something. I believe, anyway. As right now then, everybody who's made their pit stop will only have to do one more stop now. Or try and go to the end, actually. That's actually going to be interesting if they can make them hard tyres last. But the guys who haven't done pit stops yet, Tipson, Khalifi, Exo Hardy, and Morgan Dillon, they could now try medium to soft, which is a push. But Khalifi's safe to go hard to soft and could be a late call in this race to get a decent result. And Safeguard's in this lap then. So Safeguard has called it. Could have gone in last lap and we could have gone racing already. But unfortunately, that couldn't happen. So then, Dylan is going to begin the safety car restarts, and he can go as slow as he wants, as long as he doesn't slam the brakes. He doesn't go too fast and catch up back with the safety car, because it could affect him on his restart. But Dylan is raring to go. I think his highest result all season, actually. Let's have a look at that. Dylan, where you at? Dylan's highest result was actually 2nd place in Zandvoort, got 12 points, and he hasn't won a race, and he hasn't got a 3rd place. So, can we have some messages in chat and think he can get the win today? I think he deserves a win at least, especially for the Red Bull team. As Dylan then is getting ready, as the safety car is now in the pit lane. Well, going into the pit lane. He hasn't bolted yet, and this is very interesting. He's now gone. He is gone, so Dylan has gone, and it hasn't been the best restart. Race point gun out, have gone on the final corner, and we go green, and lights are out then. We're back to green flag. That's 2 moves there, and that's him back to the racing line. No moves into turn 1 as we go down the grid to make sure there's no overtakes into turn 1, and there isn't. Sneaky then on hard tyres, losing his time to Felix right now. He's currently in 12th, fighting his way through, and has Bryn lagged out? Has Bryn lagged out? He's got an X to his name. I think he has. I think he's left the session, and that is game over there for Bryn. Yes, he has. Bryn's out. Bryn is out of the race. That's 1 McLaren down. Only 1 McLaren left in this race. And that is a shame for Bryn, because he was looking very good for a good result. And I believe he was one of the drivers who... Oh no, he did pit. He pit for soft. So Morgan then in 2nd place right now, defending for his life against XL Hardy. As Hardy is looking hungry for a 2nd place and looking for 1-2 for the Red Bull team, if they can make it pay off. Right now though, no overtakes at the moment except Bryn's AI car dropping down the grid. That's Morgan then. He's going to either attempt to overtake Dylan or he's going to just try and hold Hardy. He's using his overtake. Dylan's still defending there. That's one. He can't go right again, because if he goes right again, that's two moves, and you can't make two moves on a straight, because that, even though you might be breaking the tour, that's questionable. But can't make the move yet as DRS isn't enabled. And Hardy is just waiting now for Morgan to make one mistake, and he's gaining, but nobody's made moves at all yet into turn 1. Actually, that is a lie. Felix is now moved into 10th place, and I missed that from Snitzel. So Snitzel into 11th on the faster compounder tyre is now lost position to Felix, who's now in 10th and looks like to score points at the moment, but he still has to fight his way through the field and get back on track. You can see that Monster Blue now is not going to take any prisoners today. He needs to get past Timpson to try and end this championship this season a bit earlier than the final round. Probably try and end it round 12, I think he could end it. I believe it is round 10, so there's still plenty of rounds left. So he wants to score more points than the Terrorist by a lot. As you can see now, he's trying to make the overtake on Timpson, just waiting, buying his time. You can just see he's got a lot more grip, but if he stays here too long, he's going to have Terrorist all over his mirrors and possibly trying to make the overtake. As Von Zeus there is not that far off this group, and also may try and make a move on Terrorist and try and help Monster Blue stay out, as Timpson's still 2/10 up on his time in the medium tyres. So let's see what he can do. As Monster Blue there is looking for it, he has to back off a little bit there, as you see Timpson try to close him off, and that's good racing to see from Monster Blue. Timpson's using his overtake. DRS isn't enabled yet, so he isn't going to have DRS. It's just going to be literally straight line speed. And just look at it. There's Yellow's door. Is that the Williams? It is the Williams. Finley now making a move on Ron Zeus, I believe. Or that's Ron Zeus making a move on Terrorist there. He gets the move done, but Sneaky has binned it somehow through the banking. Oh, we're going to have a double DNF from McLaren today. We will go back on Ron Zeus if he gets challenged, but no wing damage. There was yellows from him though, so I'm guessing that was him spinning. Right now the McLarens are going to score 0 points, and that isn't good, because they'll be still under threat for Ferrari next week, but Red Bull will actually gain 2 positions if they score points, I believe. They only need to score 4 points, and then they're ahead of McLaren and Ferrari. Ferrari are not here today. Right now, look back with Monster Blue. Monster Blue still can't get the position ahead of Timpson, and Timpson still needs to pit. So right now, Monster Blue has to try and pull something out of the bag. And she goes down to 4th gear then. He's just gaining and gaining on Timpson right now. You can just see he's a lot quicker. He's got more grip, and those mediums will start to die out. Remember, softs only can go 4 laps roughly, and their pit window was saved roughly because of the safety car, and they'll be trying the 2-stop, but now they're trying the 1-stop, which I think is now highly possible now. And look at Timpson now making the mistake. Monster Blue can see him now struggling for grip, but look again, the straight line isn't going to help, but this time Timpson, it is game over. Monster Blue is going to get DRS as well. He is going to have a straight line speed, and he's going to absolutely destroy him, but both drivers have got DRS. No overtakes further behind. Who's it going to be? Who's going to break later? It's going to be Monster Blue. He breaks a bit later, gains the time. Timpson gives him space, plenty of space. A bit of contact still though, and Timpson then loses the position, goes to 6th, but may try and get another good run on Monster Blue if he can get a good exit. But no, those mediums are dead. They're fried. And now Ron Zeus is next, who actually got ahead of Terror Racer into the hairpin as we saw last lap. And right now, Ron Zeus then is probably going to make his move very soon, as long as Timpson doesn't make another overtake on Monster Blue, because he's actually not dropping that off. And Khalifi now is under threat. Khalifi is under threat in 4th. So the 2 championship rivals will be going face to face yet again. As soon as Monster Blue joined this tier, Khalifi's had a lot of trouble scoring points. So right now, Khalifi needs to pull something out of the bag, as the gap between him and the cars ahead of 1.4 seconds right now. We see yellows. That's Sneaky. Sneaky's off. That's for a second I got confused if that was a Mercedes there, but he's gone off. No wing damage. It looks like, as long if it was actually, yes, he has got wing damage. He's got a right end plate missing. He has a right end plate missing, and that is him probably pitting and probably retiring. and that means we'll only have 11 cars left in this race. But right now, we're going to go on board with Khalifi, who's now under threat by Monster Blue, who's just behind him. Monster Blue is going to get DRS. We're going to also keep an eye on further behind as well, because there is a massive fight for 6th place currently right now. As you can see, Ronzook's in the background there, making a move very late there on the move, and Tipson's giving him hardly any space, but gets the move done. Good move there from Ronzook. Monster Blue moves into 4th. Tipson didn't really give him that much space. If we go on board with Tipson right now, he's still fighting it, using his overtake, going into 5th gear, trying to stay alongside him, but does he need to pit? No, he doesn't. Luckily, if he pit and just destroyed Ronzook, that would have been a high penalty. But now, look at Terrorister behind. Felix there made a mistake out of the final corner with traction issues, as Terrorister then is now next up on Tipson. And Tipson will need to watch his moves. You can see, just look at the grip difference compared to the hards and mediums. As Khalifi now in the 5th place, possibly under threat now by Ron Zeus, and trying to keep in DRS range of Monster Blue. As we can just see further behind, there is a massive squabble. Schnitzel back into 10th. Felix drops back to 11th then, and I missed that overtake as well. So there's a lot of action all over the place. Let's have a look at the top 3, and that's Sneaky. Yeah, I think he is retiring. I think he's calling it a day. That's a shame for Sneaky there, but yeah, Sneaky's retiring. In 3, 2, 1. Or either he didn't mean the speed, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, but I think he probably will retire. Morgan's safe from the attack, but I'll tell you who's not safe is Tipson. Tipson, 7th, is just going to get destroyed right now. We get a nice rear shot. We're going Tipson's POV. He's giving him space. He's giving him just enough, as they're still squabbling for position. Hopefully this doesn't end in tears for one of them. Tipson's getting the traction. Tipson pits. God, if Terracer just got stuck into the wheel. Oh, God, what's Sneaky doing? Has he binned it again? Yeah, he has. What's Sneaky? I think it's the best option. Do what I did. Went into pits and retire and not cause a safety car for other people, because you could ruin their race. However, back to the action up front. Right now, Ron Zeus is all over the back of Khalifa. You just see him ready to make the move. Get a nice camera shot on the Haas there. Just getting an attack shot right now. As Monster Blue is already gained on Hardy as Dylan and Morgan peel into the pits to go hard, so they are going to the end. As both Alfa Romeos, 5th and 6th, maybe it's time to do the switcheroo for the constructors' point. As Felix is now into 8th place, and there's a nice little fight going off here now for 5th between Terrace, Finley, Schnitzel and Felix. And speaking of Schnitzel, he gets a 3-second time penalty there. As Ron Zeus then in 4th place is looking to make an easy overtake. Lord Khalifa, Tipson early on tried to stop him getting through, literally giving him hardly any space. And just look at the straight line speed of that Haas, and he's into 3rd place. What about behind though? It's going for a dive. He's thinking about it. Almost sends it there into him. But there's yellows, and Sneaky has retired this time. He has called it a day then, and he's not. Oh no, actually, hang on a minute. He hasn't called it a day. He's caused a safety car. Oh, that's his car completely shot. I'm guessing he's lost it through the final corner. That McLaren is definitely 7. It looks like McLaren was scoring 0 points. Now we only have 11 finishes remaining, and look who it's helped. Schnitzel in the pits. Khalifi in the pits. Hardy in the pits. It has literally helped them. They could go back round, go pits, go mediums, go to the end. But is Dylan going to get ahead of his teammate? Yes, only just there. So both Red Bulls now 6th and 7th. They only need to score a couple of points, and they'll be ahead of McLaren and Ferrari, and will be then 4th in the constructors. And then both Honda Power Unit teams, AlphaTauri and Red Bull. AlphaTauri will be 3rd. Honda will be in 4th place. And then Mercedes will be at top, and Alfa Romeo will still be in 2nd. So we've got almost all power units in the top 4. Well, we do at the moment, but with the points finishing today, it looks like we won't. As good evening, Kieran. Welcome to the stream, and welcome to PSGL F6 Only 14 today, and we've already lost 3 drivers. Sneaky DNF lost it on the final corner, unfortunately, and binned it in the wall and caused a second safety car. Lost Souls lost it where we actually are now with Monster Blue. Somehow I just missed that, how he did it, on lap number 3, I believe. And Bryn, unfortunately, the game kicked him out, and unfortunately not allowed to rejoin because of the corner cutting glitch, which Cody hasn't fixed. But we've got a safety car, and it's going to be a very interesting race. And Monster Blue is back into the lead, and it looks like he's going to take the win with style. Oh, okay then. Well, welcome back, hype then. It's been a while. As Monster Blue then on lap number 13 is the leader, and he's going to gain, if he wins with fastest lap 17, Terrorist will gain 10, so that's 7-point gap. He's gained 7 points on him, so that's good actually for the championship championship's sake actually. Since at the moment the gap's 9 points, so it would be 16-point gap. So that'll be a win gap, and maximum points you can score if you win 17. And there's 4 rounds left, so Monster Blue keeps driving like this every race, and Terrace has a bit of bad luck. Monster Blue could win the championship at USA or Canada. Well then, if he has 16 every race, it'll be 64 points he'll gain. So, plenty of points to score right now, and Monster Blue is looking to take the victory. The safety car, I believe, will be coming in this lap, and the only person next to go mediums is Khalifi in 9th. Well, and he has to actually go on it, and he almost actually hit the rear end of Morgan there in 8th, who pitted for hard tyres. He was on mediums at the start, and is now on hard. So it's going to be interesting how Khalifi now gets to the field. He's going to have to fight, he's going to have slipstream, and the safety car will be in this lap. As we'll go on board with Monster Blue. See if he can get a better restart than Dylan, because Dylan left it at a weird point. Right, he didn't leave it at the final corner, he left it just before, where you're going to start speeding up, staying forward. I'd do it exactly at the final corner, because then people behind will be braking, and you can just pull away. Well then, as we see, everyone just weaving to keep their tyres warm, and this is how good this track is. There's that many straights, your tyres shouldn't be cold. They shouldn't even be under 80. They should be at least 83 or 84, especially with the amount of weaving you do. Oh, hang on a minute. Did Terracer just tap Ron Zeus? Yes, he did. Terracer has just tapped Ron Zeus. Has Terracer got a penalty? Did he get a 5-second? Have a look. We got green, green, green. And look what I said. Monster Blue, amazing restart. Absolutely awesome there. Felix now back in the 5th after this safety car restart. So he's back in the fight. And he was a favourite to win the Drivers' Championship, but I think that's complete. I think he's a Bottas on the Mercedes team right now. Just trying to help win the Constructors, win his championship, at least this season, as he's got a good exit now on Finley. Oh, bit of a snap down the upsteer there on the wheel. Correction there, Felix had. But look at him now, gaining and gaining. Is he going to go for the dive? He's doing a Ricardo. He's sending it. Bit of contact. And look who's that just invited. That is Finley. Drop now into 6th because Dylan has decided I'll send that as well, do a Felix and move into 5th, and that is great for Dylan now. He's on fresh hard tyres, he's got a lot more pace, and he looks like he's going to challenge Felix next up. And we actually will look at that because I want to check, did Terrace also get a penalty? No, he didn't. Somehow Terrace hasn't got a penalty, and that was completely Terrace's fault. He just went straight in the back of him. Hopefully Ron Zeus gets that penalty removed, because That's a shame there. DRS isn't active yet, but Felix is in trouble. That's one move. You've defended. That's Felix defending now. He can't go back to the racing line. Dylan, he's going for it. Round the outside. Felix has to give him space, as we get a terrible camera view if we go broadcast. Felix has to give him space, and that isn't enough space. Felix, come on. I know you're better than that. Felix there in the fourth, giving him no space at all. Almost could have given him wing damage. Let's actually have a look at that Red Bull. No wing damage at the moment, but look who he's in trouble now. Dylan is going for it. He's going to go around the outside into turn one, and this is not the smartest place to go. He's going to go for the switchback, but Felix is holding his own this time. He's stopping him doing that. In my opinion, I'll just let him through for giving him no space into the hairpin. It's just not clean racing, is it? There's Dylan then. Is still fighting against Felix, and look at Felix. Not any grip in the world right now. And Dylan is sending it. Felix is turning in. God, that could have ended a massive crash there. And Felix would have been to blame there if he turned in onto him, because he had plenty of time to notice Dylan was going to go for it. He gave him the space, and he can't just close it at the end. Felix then in fourth, trying to hold the position right now. And this is the only fight we have of a possible overtake, because the others are just following in a straight line. As both racing points then. No, sorry, one racing point in 8th of Morgan. He'll be the only driver to score points for the team. As Felix now is going to get slipstream from Terra Racer. So Terra Racer has now made a mistake. He's now 2.5 seconds off Ron Zeus. But Felix is gaining on Ron Zeus, and it's stopping Dylan making a move. But will Dylan send it like Felix? No, Felix locks up as well. DRS will be enabled this lap. So we now have a three-way fight for... Well, actually, we have more than a three-way fight. As Monster Blue sets a new fast lap, the 34 flat. This guy keeps picking up the pace, and he's doing what he needs to do. As DRS is enabled, so the rest control have enabled it then. And we'll see uptakes happen very quickly, especially for 6th place, as Finley is getting challenged behind by the other Red Bull of Hardy. So both Red Bulls are looking very strong and very fast at the moment, and looking for a possible podium. Just look at the grip there. You can just see it on the exit there. Felix almost gave him no room there. Luckily he wasn't alongside, because if he was alongside and shoving him off, that would have been probably a penalty. As that isn't really fair. You've almost probably put him into the wall. And Felix is fighting as Morgan's now fighting with Khalifi behind. I thought I'd not see this. Where's Khalifi come from? He's now on mediums. He gets the job done, gets the position, but has he made a crucial error? Nope, because the Red Bull's just ahead of him, so he will get DRS. However though, back to the fight for 4th place. Is Felix in trouble? Has he got enough ERS? Has he got enough straight line speed? Yes, he has. He's safe for now, but he's gaining on Terra Racer. He's looking to send it, but he has to wait another lap, as we see further behind. As we see there, Morgan has got 3 wide into the hairpin. This is going to end in tears. Oh, somehow it doesn't. Great racing there from Khalifi, Tipson and Morgan there, but it was very dangerous. Now, Schnitzel is getting very hungry for a position. He's a very clean racer and a good racer indeed, as Schnitzel is, as he's got a lot of experience. Currently in 11th, trying to score some points for the team and to try and help get them back on track for the constructors. As right now, though, Felix is literally under threat. Right now, he's got that Red Bull all over him, literally all over gears, almost hit his rear end there on the rear left side. Sorry, the rear right. But Felix is in big trouble. He's got hardly any ERS, neither is Dylan. Terra Racer, he's just having not really a chill day in the park, a stressful day in the park, with almost 50% ERS, but he's got a lot of cars, easy to make positions, and it's going to really hurt him if they overtake him and he loses more points than Monster Blue in the Drivers' Championship. As on lap 18 out of 28. As you can just see there, look at the distance Ron Zeus and Monster Blue are now starting to pull away. And the thing is, Ron Zeus needs to do that, because he has a 5-second penalty, which hopefully gets removed, because that was not his fault. Will Felix this time get a run on Terra Racer? Gap now between Terra Racer and Ron Zeus is 3.7. Felix is just losing too much time. He's too far back. Dylan's also too far back to make him on Felix. But I don't think Khalifi's too far back to make a move on XL. We'll keep an eye on that. Nope, Felix isn't making a move. Excel's now losing the position. Oh, Khalifi goes into his braking zone. There was contact there, and that was inevitable. Khalifi needed a bit more of a gap to then move. Has he got wing damage, actually, with that? I think he has. I think he's got front wing damage. I think he's missing one of the right side end plate. Yes, he is. He's got end plate damage, and that is not good for the Red Bull team. And one of their drivers are injured, and he's going to have to limp around for more laps to the end, because I don't think it's worthy of pitting, because you're not going to score points since there's still 11 runners remaining. But right now, though, Dylan, back to the action ahead. Dylan is still trying to find a way through Felix, but Felix is trying to get past Terracer, and now Finley is coming back in the mix. Same with Khalifi, who's on mediums, 5 lap mediums. Those mediums are looking better than the hard tyres right now. As the top 4 on 13 lap old hards, and Felix is literally parking a bus right now. He's got Dylan all over him on fresh hard tyres, just ready to make the overtake, just waiting for a little mistake from Mr. Felix. As Terrace then in third, got a 4-second gap now to Ron Zeus, so will Ron Zeus ask for the penalty to be removed, or will he just let it stay? Because I don't, at the moment, the position looks like he's going to stay second, unless Monster Blue had a penalty. Felix is in trouble, and that's a snap there. You just saw there the rear of the car just wanted a snap, and it's game over now. Felix is in trouble, but no, he's not. The slipstream is helping him, but Dylan's still there. He's going to send it. If I was Dylan, I'd just send it. And he is. Dylan's being aggressive. He sends it into the hairpin, and he's also sending it into Terrace. A bit of contact there. Shoves Terrace completely off. Felix then tries it. Dylan gets a bit punching, starting to punch his way through the field. Terrace now drops to 5th place. This is crucial in the championship, because I believe 5th place is 6 points. That is a 10-point loss if he get it. But look at this. Now look at Khalifi getting feisty on Finley. Round the outside into turn 1. Who's going to get it? The Alfa Romeo, or is it going to be the Alfa Tauri? Which Alpha is going to get it? Finley has to realise that he's there. He's going around the outside. Finley's still got to give him space. You've got to give him space there as they're coming through turn 3 to turn 4 now. And it looks like Finley and these two are still fighting out side by side. And Khalifi moves into 6th place now. Then we see XL Hardy in 10th now. Bit of contact with him and Timpson coming into the hairpin corner. And I think just let him go, because you're costing yourself too much time. Just try and defend from Schnitzel as best as you can, or peel into pits, go fastest lap, and stop Monster Blue getting that extra point. But right now then, we're back on board with Felix, who's now in 4th place. Challenge on Dylan. Dylan's made a mistake. Is it crucial to now start making mistakes, Dylan? Because Felix can easily make the overtake back. As we see now, Schnitzel moves into 10th place. Hardy now into 11th. So I think it's time to pit, go soft tyres, and just try and work smart. You never know. Could be a late safety car. I doubt it, but there could be a very late safety car, and it could help you in the race. As Dylan's making massive mistakes right now, and as he now starting to feel the pressure, and let's see what Mr. Felix can do. Can he get 3rd? Now he's activating his DRS and overtake. He's doing the dummy, going around the outside. Dylan's going to repay the favour probably for what Felix did to him, and no, good respectful driving there from Dylan, and that's good to see. He doesn't repay the favour what Felix did to him. Dylan then into 3rd for a bit longer, as we'll go on lap number 21 for these guys. Morgan picks a 3-second time penalty. That's going to be crucial in the race, and that actually could still help Hardy if he stays. But look at Dylan. He's just too slow in the straight line speed. In the corners, he's better than Felix on those fresher hards. But also, don't count out Khalifi. Yeah, there may be 7-lap old mediums, but those mediums are on a lighter fuel car. So those mediums are going to be a lot more better. And you can just see that again, a twitch on Felix's car. Felix is having either steering issues, or he's having issues with the setup, keeping it stable under the power. And it could actually cost him. Or has he got wing damage from the start of the race, like minor wing damage, which could be hurting him as well. As Dylan then is got a gap to Ron Zeus fight, and yet again look at that, Felix just dirty air and just nothing he can answer. He's now under threat by Terra Racer. Dylan has almost pulled a second gap. He isn't, unfortunately, in that second range, but look who is behind you, Felix. You have an Alfa Romeo who's decent on the straight line. You have a guy on mediums who has got a good straight line, but you've had a good exit actually, Felix, and Felix looks like he's safe for now, and same with Khalifi. Anybody making overtakes? What about Morgan, actually? Yes, Morgan making a move on Finley, going into 7th place, and he has nothing to lose since he's got a 3-second time penalty. Finley then into 7th, sorry, Finley into 8th, Morgan into 7th then, and Let's see what these guys can do as Hardy still stays out, but I think it's time to pit, just to go softs. And yep, he is in. He's going for soft tyres, I'm guessing. It was a nice fight for third place for Dylan, Felix, Teresa and Khalifi. All these drivers want third place. We've had Felix win a race, we've had Teresa win a race, we've also had Khalifi win a race. And also the gap between Monster Blue and Ron Zeus right now is 3.1 seconds. The gap between Dylan and Ron Zeus is 5.1. The gap to leader from Dylan is 8.2 seconds. Fastest lap is also held by Monster Blue, 34 flat. The person who was closest to that was Ron Zeus, 34.1. Everybody else is mid 34s, unless you're on soft tyres, like Hardy, who's probably going to smash that and do a 33, maybe a high 32. As Felix picks up a penalty, that's crucial. That could cost him a podium position, and Terrace could still get third place. As we are back then, Dylan in third, gap now a second, he's gapped him. What about Teresa? Teresa now under pressure by Khalifi again, round the outside. Khalifi's going to do the switch, he's got the traction. Teresa's made a mistake, Teresa has now lost the position. Khalifi into into fifth, not third, temporarily. Has Teresa got him? No, he's back, so he has to lift off just to avoid contact. And those hards, they just had it, they're shot. And Khalifi moves into fifth place. And is set in purple sectors now. 3/10 currently up in his time. His next target is Felix, who's got a 3-second time penalty, so he's going to get that position anyway, because I believe Khalifi has 0 penalties. So Khalifi could get a third place. We'll also have to watch out for Snitch on Tipson, who is still fighting Alice Hardy. Is on a lap now, fast lap, so let's see what time he will do at the end of the race, see what his fastest lap is. His fastest lap, as I said, has to beat is a 34 flat, so, and he's actually increased the gap to Ron Zeus now to 3.7 seconds. And Khalifi is looking at Felix, looking very hungry, and he's sending it. Yep, Felix knew that straight away, no contact, no questions asked. And Khalifi then moves into fourth, but actually, hang on a minute, Felix hasn't finished with him and gives him complete no room. And if he gets a 3-second time penalty for that, that is... Come on, Felix, what are you playing at? And now let's give a position back to Teresa. I know it's hard to give space to the final corner, but either you slow down and give space, or you just don't go for the overtake and then wait for the straight, because you could have been smart there. And even though that's just silly there, Felix. Snitz on Tipson having a right ding-dong battle for 9th. Williams versus AlphaTauri. Fine for the last scrapes of points. Oh, good switch there from Tipson. Hardy sets a new fastest. That was even wrong. Not 32. He's done a 31.4. Good lap there. Tipson's still trying to go side by side here with Snitzel. This is great racing. Why can't we have this for the F10 and other tiers? Because this is awesome racing. No hitting, no banging tyres, wheel to wheel, and look at that straight line speed. But they're still going side by side. This is awesome to see right now between Tipson and Snitzel. Snitzel tries a switch again. He's going to go for another switch. Can't get it working at the moment, as we'll just see how much straight line speed Snitzel has got down here. And as Tipson made a crucial error, and will this stop the battle? Gap 2/10 as Morgan passes Teresa for 6th place, and I would go on that, but this is more entertaining at the moment. Snitzel then making a move, does the dummy. Oh, this is going to end in tears. Does the dummy there, nice overtake, gets the job done, and Tipson comes back at him and says thank you very much. Now these guys are going to go side by side. I wonder if these two give each other space, and Snitzel does the right option to do, go behind, because he's going to get DRS on the next straight. And look at this now. Snitzel is going to go around the outside. These two are still squabbling for the final couple of points. They're both going to score points as long as they don't crash out. There's one lap 25. And there you go. Tipson gives him plenty of space. Tipson yet again, more space for Snitzel. Snitzel tries to switch. Awesome racing right now between the Williams and the AlphaTauri. Look at Snitzel now. He's going around the outside. Is he doing the dummy? Yes, he is. In a minute, one of these dummies are going to hit Tipson. It's going to end in big tears. It's like going side by side again. This is awesome right now from these two drivers. This is more entertaining than the actual race. Well, you just say it because Monster Blue is just winning in a dominant fashion right now. He's also going to lap Bryn. I'm on lap 25. I will keep an eye on the other fights ahead. If there's an overtake, I will switch to it. But they're all in a train, so I don't even think there's going to be an overtake. Oh, scratch, actually. Khalifi might get the overtake. God, my throat is dying after comms. To apologise. If you hear me mute my mic, it's because I'm either coughing or something or having a drink. As Felix is still holding his own. Khalifi's still there. And this time doesn't shove him off this time. And actually, hang on a minute. What happened to Teresa? He's 7th. What's happened to Teresa today? He's now 7th now. He's going to lose more points. That's 4 points. So Tipson are going side by side through turn 1 now. These two are still not had enough. Oh, Snitzel makes a mistake. Tipson's going to come back at him. He's sending it. Oh, just yet again, just keep sending it every time. This is awesome to see. Tipson gets the position now back into 9th place. These guys aren't going to get a punch. There's 1 lap 26. We've only got a couple more laps left of the race. As we're going to go on board oh no, that was a McLaren. We're actually going to go back on board with Felix right now, who's in trouble. I think it is game over now for you, Felix. It's time to say bye-bye to your 4th place and hello to your 5th place, because you're not scoring points. Sorry, not getting a podium. Hang on a minute. Look at the racing point. Oh, that could have ended in tears. Felix, what are you playing at? Just driving today. And now Felix just sends it out of nowhere. Oh, God. This is like either the last lap or the next lap. There's going to be a massive crash between Felix Morgan and Khalifi right now because Felix is driving like an absolute nutter. It's Felix in 5th then. And Khalifi's just shoving him, telling him to get out of the way, just move. Because you're just holding us up. You're too slow. Just park the Mercedes up, retire the car, and let these guys race. Because right now, you're ruining them as Tipson and Snitzel are still having a fight for that position. And we'll keep it. Oh, hang on a minute. That's a Red Bull. That is Hardy. He's off. And that is a shame there for him. But no retirement. So no safety car either because it is the penultimate lap. Dylan has pulled away. Morgan now is into 4th place. Well then, we are back to me not coughing or anything like that. We see both Alpha and Males are getting a bit feisty. Finley is not going for it. But if I was Terrace, just let him through. Because he's going to be faster, he's going to help you in the constructors. Finley thinking about sending it. It is the last lap of the race. Monster Blue has started the last lap. Now let's have a look at the gap between Terrace and Monster Blue. 16 seconds from Finley. 15.7 from Terrace. This man is unstoppable. Nobody can beat him. Well, actually, put CRG Blizzard down here, then yeah, could beat him. But Monster Blue right now is doing a very good job. 4.5 second gap to Ron Zeus. Dylan is actually caught up to Ron Zeus though, 2.9. So Dylan could go up to 2nd place. This is interesting because if Dylan closes up a little bit more, Morgan could be in a possible third if he can catch and gain some time. Start Ronzu's tyres start to die off because they're on 22 lap old hards, and you see they're starting to get a bit of blistering right now. And Cleefy's not really on the attack anymore. So we're going to go aboard a Monster Blue right now, currently in lead, and we'll probably stay in lead unless he has 20 seconds worth of penalties. But right now, Terrace is 7th. That's 4 points. So he's going to gain 12 points. Sorry, 13 points with the fastest lap. That is crucial in the Drivers' Championship. And that is over a win than the gap is, I'm guessing. Because at the moment it's only 9 points. It could be a 22-point gap. As here comes Monster Blue in dominant fashion and well-deserved first place. The guy who started on pole does the triple, gets the win, gets the fastest lap and holds the positions. Ronzoot will finish in third then. Dylan does get ahead, but it might be switched if the penalty is removed. Ronzoot's third, so these two are unconfirmed. Morgan fourth, Leafy goes fourth, Morgan fifth, Felix in sixth, Terrace is seventh, Finley eighth, Tipson then, who's had an awesome race with Snitzel, gets the upper hand, goes ninth, Snitzel finishes in 10th, and Hardy will be the last person to cross the line in 11th with, I believe, no front wing. If it doesn't want to show me the rear end of the car, I want to see the front of the car, thank you very much. As he's coming now round the final corner, there we go. Oh no, he still has his front wing. And he's slowing down, and he's doing donuts. That is questionable because I don't know if that is allowed. And I'm getting ill, so I'm not feeling right after that race. That race has absolutely destroyed me with my voice. But Hardy then will be finishing the grid as he goes completely off, and I don't know what he's doing, but just crossed the line. And he resets the track. Oh my god. Alright, he finally finished. Thank you. Jesus. Alright then, well, we only had 11 finishes there out of a 14 car grid. And yeah, there was boring points. Cleefy gets to drive the day. There was boring points, but there was also awesome action. And the best action, I believe, I've got to say, is Tipson and Snitzel. They deserve drive day as well because they were doing awesome. But this man, yet again, gets another win. I believe it's his third win in a row. This guy is unstoppable. Nobody can beat him in this tier. Monster Blue takes 17 crucial points to his name and 13 points to Monster Blue now, I think it is. He's gapped him now of. So he will be happy with that. So I think that leads to a 22-point gap in the driver's standings, with Dylan in second, which isn't confirmed, with Ron Zeus in third, as I said, isn't confirmed. Those two could do the switch, but these are the three podium finishers who are confirmed: is Monster Blue, Dylan, and Ron Zeus. Well then, oh actually no, Monster Blue doesn't get the fast lap. Sorry, I forgot. So he only actually gets 16 points, so it's only a 21-point gap. So he's only getting 21 then. Well, Morgan 5th then, Felix 6th, Terrace is 7th, Finley in 8th, Tipson 9th, Snitzel in 10th, and XL Hardy in 11th with questionable driving right at the end. Bryn, who unfortunately got kicked out of the game, unfortunately gets a DNF, I believe, or DNS in 12th, Sneaky 13th, unfortunately DNF'd, and Lost Souls DNF'd as well in the race. My voice is completely gone, so that means I won't be doing interviews today. Ugh. Screw it. I'll try and do interviews. Monster Blue, Dylan, and Ron Zeus for the top 3 then, and that is your results. So we'll send them interviews. My voice can take it. So we'll invite them now. Run. Z. U. Ron. apparently doesn't exist. Fortunately, Ronzos, I won't be able to actually invite you. Oh, but it hasn't actually just. That's it. I won't invite them again. This game, DX. To apologise for this, guys. There we go. Top 3, or top 2, because unfortunately I can't invite Ronzos for some reason. I've been sent invites. Then we have Dylan in the party. And also Monster Blue. Well then, we'll actually start off with Dylan. Just got to make sure your mic is on share on the settings so the stream can hear you.
Yes, that's all sorted.
Right, that's good then. Well then, congratulations on, I believe, second place. It isn't confirmed yet, of course, because Ron Zeus might get penalty removed, which was 5 seconds with contact with Teresa. We did a very good race. I believe you started on the medium tyre, if I'm correct.
Yes, that's correct.
You started on the mediums, and safety car came into play. And how do you think your race went with that safety car?
I mean, the early safety car was actually quite bad for most of the medium runners because that allowed soft runners to basically get a free pit stop. So I was quite upset with that. But then later on the race, we got our own safety car, so that basically evened it all out. And yeah, after safety car stint, or after the second safety car, I'm sorry, it was just yeah, very very difficult to get past Terra Racer and Felix. So yeah, I mean, the safety car did play a big role in the race, but I think it just evened out between both strategies, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, we did see that as well. And your teammate of Hardy, because you've had a lot of teammates this season. You had Thomas, you've now got Jimbo, or had Jimbo, now you have Hardy. He was actually came through the field as well on the same strategy. Did you think you two, if the safety cars weren't there, you could have had a lot better of a result, possibly second and third, if Hardy didn't have a bit of wing damage with another driver or anything like that? Or do you think you were just focusing on your race and just trying to score most points as possible?
Well, I was in the party with him just now, and well, we both knew we had good pace around this track, and we both knew we could have had a good result if we both started on the medium tires. And during the first few laps, he made quite a few overtakes to get in behind me. I think he was the third car on the mediums, behind Morgan, I believe. And after safety car, of course, after the safety car, he got ahead of Morgan, so we were basically the two medium runners who were fresh softs, or it was fresh hards, I mean. So I think he just got a little bit of just got unlucky with the wing damage, and I know he's fast as well, so I believe if nothing happened to him, we would have had P2 and P3.
Yeah, that is also some good news for the constructors side. You now actually move up to 4th place, since McLaren didn't score any points, and you were only 2 points off them, and Ferrari didn't turn up, unfortunately, their drivers. So you're now moving to 4th place with a bit of a gap now to McLaren and Ferrari. Do you think you've got enough time to try and catch up with AlphaTauri with their poor performances as of late, or do you think 4th place is probably the best place for you at the moment for this season?
To be honest with Hardy, I know Hardy's a quick driver, so I think we definitely have a shout of getting P3 in the constructors. And next few tracks are quite good for us, hopefully. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that's good to see then. Well then, I'll ask you the final question, which is Bahrain is next week. How do you feel you're going to be there? Do you think you could get another podium, possible win this time if Monster Blue doesn't turn up, or anything like that, or just points on the cards for the Red Bull team?
Bahrain is actually my favourite track on the calendar, so I'm expecting a podium at least. So yeah, hopefully a win. I know Monster Blue is incredibly quick, so hopefully it takes a week off. But I mean, I know I have good pace around there, so hopefully I can challenge for the win. And otherwise, I would just settle for a podium.
Well, and that's good to hear, and thank you again for joining us on the interviews, and it's good to have interviews back since I haven't done them, since I've had college and all that. And congratulations on your second place, and hopefully we can see you on the podium again.
Yes, thank you very much, and thanks for the commentary.
You're welcome. Well then, we will now go on board with Monster Blue, the race winner. The guy at the moment who is unstoppable right now. He's basically a mini Blizzard CRG driver, but is in F6, and looks like he's going to take the championship at the rate of pace he's doing. I believe that is now your third win in a row. How does it feel, and how do you think your race went, and have you got any other tips to improve on your racecraft for the rest of the races to go?
Oh no, yeah, it was a really good race. Maybe a bit more chaotic with the safety cars, but it made it more interesting in a way, in the same way as well. Yeah, trying to probably going into this year probably wasn't one of my favorite tracks, but going into this year is probably one of my better tracks. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's one of my better tracks. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Just I knew Ron Zeus had quite a bit of pace behind. I just had to keep it like consistent laps in. There's some parts of the track where he was quicker and some parts I was quicker at, and it just yeah, so the only thing I could do better is improve on those little parts where he was catching up on me slightly.
Well, yeah, we did see that on the fastest lap. You were only just a tenth quicker on the fastest lap, and you two were just flying away. Even with that second safety car that couldn't stop you, they would need to put you at the back of the grid to have a chance of stopping you today. You've done an awesome race, and I believe altogether that's your 5th win, I believe now this season, and that's higher than everybody has had. And it looks like at the moment you're going to run away with the championship, only starting at Britain. You missed the first 2 rounds. So, do you think you can get more wins, or do you think now just podiums are going to be on the cards and let Teresa catch up a little bit, or do you think you're going to have a dominant fashion in F6?
I can't remember what the last few tracks are, but I remember looking at them not so long ago, and I remember thinking the final few tracks were probably my best tracks. So I'm hoping I can get wins there. I think going into season starting in the 3rd round, I think. I knew I had to play catch up and really be on my A game just to have a chance to get the championship. So yeah, it's been good.
Well, yeah, speaking about your 3rd round as well, when you did join, you weren't in a full team yet, you were a reserve. But then as soon as you joined the Mercedes team, instantly at round 4, the Mercedes team started to pick up points, and they got 20 points round 4, 24 at Belgium, and then you just kept getting 2nd or 3rd highest, or even 1st highest in the points total. Do you think the Constructors is going to be easier now with Felix scoring some points today and scoring more points possibly in the future with 4 rounds now after this round to go? Or do you think the drivers at the moment for you is more crucial than the Constructors?
I think it's good to go for both now. I think at the start I was very focused on drivers just because I was so far behind. Going into especially the first race without a team, it was very much so looking at the drivers, but now no, I've got a bit of a gap now. It's really just a factor of putting in consistent races, and I think that's the best way to get Constructors. So Felix is really consistent. I know he missed last week, but every race he's been really consistent. He's been at least in the top 5. So yeah, I think I'd like to think we can get it.
Okay, then that's good to hear then. Well, I'll ask you the final question, which I asked Dylan. It is Bahrain next week. Do you think you could get a win with a dominant fashion, maybe this time 50 seconds, maybe lap the whole field, or do you think the podium or points are just on the cards for that race?
I do really enjoy Bahrain. Probably one of my favourite tracks. So I'd hope for a win as well, purely because it's quite a nice track. So you know it's going to be dry, so it's quite predictable. It's just with safety cars, and obviously if you just have an instant. But I'm hoping with my pace, I should be able to get a win.
Well, that is good to hear then. And congratulations on your win, and 3 wins in a row now, which is awesome feeling you must have. And hopefully we can see you on the podium interviews yet again next week. I'm guessing we will. And have a good day, and thank you for coming in for the interview.
Cheers.
Well then, this has been PSGL Season 26 F6 Round 10 at China. I've been your commentator Iron Lee, and I was Jared Fosbury. If you do want to watch more content for PSGL, there is the other tiers which have run today, which I believe was F6, 7, 8 and 9. F10 and 11 was run last Thursday, which they'll be at Bahrain this Thursday coming up. But if you want to see more action-packed racing at China, do tune in for F1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 tomorrow. And if you want to see some FP action, join Tuesday, 8 o'clock now brought by me. But always hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, and have a great day, and see you guys next time. Goodbye.